Coming up on News Live at 6, ESF is retracting its active shooter statement after a swatting incident. A response from DPS.
Plus, protesters rallied together against the current actions of President Donald Trump and Elon Musk.
And Central New Yorkers bidding on their running shoes this weekend. The funds that were raised from the Rosamond Gifford Zoo. News Live at 6 starts right now.
This is CitrusTV News Live at 6, your campus news leader.
Hello and welcome to News Live at 6 for this Monday. I'm Max Williams.
And I'm Marie Achkar. A warning of an active shooter threat on the Syracuse University campus came earlier today, but SUNY ESF now taking back that statement. DPS issuing an email this afternoon clarifying it was a swatting incident, reassuring that there's no active shooter on campus.
Yeah, that's right. Just after 4 o'clock this afternoon, ESF students received messages from ESF's university-wide email system telling them to lock down. In their email to students across the campus, which you see on your screen right now, DPS said, "We want to reassure everyone that there is no active shooter on campus, despite any reports you may have seen." They also say following the false threat, they will increase police presence for the rest of the day. Well, you may have heard about the hands-off protests Saturday across the country. People throughout the nation rallied against the current actions of President Donald Trump and Elon Musk.
Our reporter Alexa Corey is here in studio to tell us more about the rally that happened here in Syracuse. Alexa, good evening.
Thank you, Max and Marie. On Saturday at Foreman Park, a passionate crowd gathered to protest what they see as government overreach and undue influence of two high-profile figures, President Donald Trump and Elon Musk. The hands-off protest is part of a growing movement calling for an end to legal battles and perceived attacks by two high-profile billionaires. A Central New York mother and daughter share their reason for attending the protest.
The main driver is me being worried about my daughter's future. I feel like she now has less rights than I do, or that I did at her age. So while the concern is for everybody, your shift tends to go towards your own children, and that impacts everybody's children. And at the end of the day, it's our children that are the future. And so I just want everybody should have equal rights, no matter the color of your skin, your religion. It's just, we're going through insanity.
Concern for all trans rights, people of color's rights, women's rights, children, students, educators, everyone.
The rally, which was organized through social media, drew 4,000 supporters to Syracuse alone, and many more around the country who feel strongly about the issues surrounding Trump and Musk. The event remained peaceful, but the underlying message was clear. Protesters are voicing their frustrations with what they consider an infringement on the rights of powerful individuals.
This is what democracy looks like.
As the protest wraps up, one thing is certain: the hands-off movement is gaining traction, and these voices from moms, daughters, and thousands across the nation are committed to making their message known. Reporting in studio, I'm Alexa Corey. Max and Marie, back to you guys.
Alex, thank you so much. Well, police are still on the lookout for a man tonight who shot and killed another man yesterday in the village of Manlius. Police say 48-year-old Radu Turner is a person of interest. Turner allegedly had an argument with another man in front of his home yesterday afternoon. When the other man began to drive away, Turner shot at him, causing the man to crash his car into a tree. The man was taken to Upstate Medical Hospital, where he later died. Turner was last seen driving a gray Jeep with a New York license plate. Police say anyone with information about Turner should call 911.
New York Attorney General Letitia James and the Syracuse Police Department are hosting a gun buyback event in Syracuse this weekend. The event is part of James's effort to cut down on gun violence and protect New York families. Gun owners will get money in the form of prepaid gift cards when a gun is received and secured by law enforcement.
Well, a Jefferson County family is coming back home after previously being detained by ICE. 3 children and their mother were taken into custody late last month. They were detained as part of an investigation targeting an alleged child predator. 2 of the children were in high school and 1 was in the 3rd grade. The family's detainment prompted protests in their hometown of Sackett's Harbor. Well, Central New Yorkers put on their running shoes this past weekend at the Rosamond Gifford Zoo, and it was for the zoo's annual 5K Zoo Run event, Marie.
The goal was to raise funds for the zoo to help support the animals. Our reporter Caleb Plank was able to speak with some of the participants in the race about what it was like to run beside the animals.
The annual Rosamond Gifford Zoo Run Run is a welcoming event for everyone. Regardless of age or skill level, there's a race for everybody to have fun, exercise, and support the zoo.
The goal and mission of all of our events that we do here are to bring awareness to conservation and our mission of preserving the natural world.
All proceeds raised go directly back to the zoo and their animals.
It goes into our everyday operations, whether that be something that we need for a specific animal or creature, or something that we need for maintenance, just everyday operations and to benefit all the animals here at the zoo.
The Zoo Run Run is a great way to raise money and bring awareness to the zoo, while also having fun and exercising with your friends.
I think my favorite part, I just run for fun, so I had a good time just running with Christy and just talking and looking at the animals.
The Zoo Run comes with a unique view as racers get to pass through the animal kingdom, catching glances of bears, elephants, red pandas, and camels, all as motivation.
My favorite part was the camel, and we were running by and we couldn't see the head of the camel, and then we ran through and his head was poking through the rocks, just like watching all the runners go by. It was really cute.
If the nice view and burning off a couple calories wasn't enough of a reward, runners were met at the finish line with a medal to celebrate their hard work. Reporting for CitrusTV News, I'm Caleb Plank.
Caleb, thank you so much. That looked like so much fun, Max.
Yeah, I'm glad the weather held up for that.
Max, we should have gone. Max and I could have run a 5K together, right?
I don't know if I
Turn
can do
those
that.
hot girl walks into hot girl runs.
I don't know if I'm in shape for that, to be
Yeah,
honest.
well, Max and I could have done it. That's too bad. Well, you know what? It looked like it was a good day out.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for those warm temperatures to kick in.
Yeah.
Our weather anchor, Riley, is in studio right now to tell us more about those conditions. Riley Faye, how are you this evening?
Thank you, Marie and Max. Yeah, luckily for you guys, you have some time before it really gets warm, so you don't have to hot girl walk quite this early. It's only 48 degrees outside, and despite these lower temperatures, it was actually a pretty nice day. It was partly cloudy. There was still a good amount of people outside considering the temperatures, and although it is April, the temperatures are just going to continue to drop throughout the course of this evening and for the next few days. Tonight it's going to drop down to about 40 degrees with a feels like temperature of 33 degrees. Now this evening from about 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. we are expecting some light rain, and that's going to kind of turn into snow in the morning, which I'll have more on later in the show. But currently we do have a wind advisory in Syracuse, which is going to last until about 8 p.m. So definitely be on the lookout if you're opening a car door or anything like that. There's going to be gusts of wind to about 50 miles per hour. So guys.
Riley, thank you so much. Well, you won't hear it by the name of the Student Association anymore. It's because the organization is now going by a new name, the Student Government Association. It comes after the proposal passed the 10% student voter benchmark that was needed to approve the change. The approval will also add new assembly positions. Over 2,000 students participated in this spring's general elections, and that's doubling last spring's 743 ballots.
All right, well, the SGA is hosting its first ever on-campus farmers market in Walnut Park this weekend. The market is open to students and the local community. Handmade goods, food, and sustainable products will be available. The market will be open from 11 to 3 on Sunday. Might have to go check that out. All right, well, Syracuse is continuing its celebration of Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month by hosting a variety of different events throughout the month.
And our Izzy Leibowitz went to Q's Cruise Spring Showcase, where dancers brought the community together through K-pop and performances.
Those were a couple performances by Q's Crew in the 2025 Showcase that happened on Sunday in the Shine Underground, where they celebrated K-pop and creative searches.
So we are a non-audition based org, and we typically plan out our showcase right before the semester starts. And then they have around 9 weeks or 9 to 10 weeks of practicing.
That's Tatiana Nellums, who's been with Q's Crew all 3 years since its founding. She's the event coordinator and tells why it's worth all the hard work to put on the showcase.
Just seeing everything come together, and also just being the person that is the main one putting it on, it's just so loving to see the fruits of our labor actually come on stage.
Lior Edridge, the social media coordinator, reassures that Q's crew isn't just about the showcase, but also the weekly meetings.
If you don't want to dance, there's a place for you to come and spread your love of K-pop and talk with other people about it.
Elise Christopher adds more about the community built at the weekly meetings and talks about the legacy that the seniors want to leave behind.
We get to know people better in there, and then also we get to see freshmen especially come out of their shells.
I like to think the show makes it the welcoming environment of Q's crew. That warm, loving energy and staying a sincere family, as I like to put it, within Q's crew is what our legacy would be wanted to be.
Even though Nellum's Christopher and Edridge are graduating, they're hopeful the Q's crew community stays strong. I'm Izzy Leibowitz with Citrus TV News.
All right, coming up, stocks are sinking in response to President Trump's tariffs. We'll tell you the damage.
Plus, one local band is keeping the spirit of jazz alive. That and more after the break.
Welcome to an excellent episode of Live from Studio B.
Watching Citrus TV News live at 6 with Max Williams, Marie Achkar, and Riley Fay. And now, your campus news leader continues.
Welcome back, everyone. As President Trump continues to implement his tariff plan, the stock market tumbles.
Well, joining us now to break this all down is market shares anchor Mike Lamore. Mike, what's the latest in the market?
Yeah, well, guys, investors are continuing to hold their breaths as the market today continuing to head towards the red. We're seeing all the major indexes down on the week. All of them, two of the three, finished down today as well. The NASDAQ, though, the only major index that finished up on the day. All three of them, though, down on the week. Dow Jones down nearly 4,000 points, S&P down 540 points, and the NASDAQ down nearly 1,600 points. Many experts pointing to President Trump's tariffs plan as one of the major reasons that these indexes are down. Just over the weekend, President Trump implemented a 10% tariff globally on all foreign goods. We're currently seeing that effect on the major supply chains right now. Dow Jones and the S&P, they're major carriers of automobile manufacturers. Trump also placed a 25% tariff on those goods coming into the country. So, guys, just red across the board this week.
Yeah, and you see all that red like we just saw on the screen there. Has President Trump reacted, to his tariff plan and to the market?
Yeah, Max. Well, I think it was no question that experts were going to expect a market tumble. We just weren't quite sure how much the market was going to tumble. As you could see, all the major indexes in the red. Trump acknowledged that. He did say that, he doesn't want prices, the stock market to be down, but he did say that sometimes, quote, you have to take medicine to fix some things. He's referring to the stock market being down is going to be temporary, that these tariffs are being utilized to renegotiate deals, trade deals that he called unfair in the past. He's using these tariffs to bring about negotiations, and hopefully prices, the stock market will be back up soon.
Well, you know, SUNY Oswego Economics Department chair says that the plan is pointless because we haven't been victim of unfair trade.
Yeah, that's right. I did actually sit down with the department chair. Take a look.
I mean, simply put, we are not getting ripped off by all these other countries. We're not a manufacturing country. Neither are most of the countries of Europe anymore. You know, we're a mature economy and we're mostly a service economy. So we buy goods from countries that can produce them a lot cheaper than we can.
And coming up, I'll have all the details on this April snow. Stay with us.
Most party fouls are pretty dumb. But if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving. The ultimate party foul.
From the Citrus TV Weather Center, this is SU's most accurate weather forecast.
Welcome back to Citrus TV News. I mentioned earlier in the show that we're expecting some snow tomorrow, and that is correct. We're expecting about an inch of snow throughout the day with a high of 29 degrees, low of 25 for tomorrow. Later in the week, it's going to warm up a little bit, only to 47 until Saturday, though. That will be the highest. Wednesday and Thursday, kind of cloudy with some rain throughout the next few days. Wednesday high of 38, low of 26. So definitely gonna have to bundle up for the next few days. And then Thursday and Friday, pack your umbrella. We won't really see the sun until Saturday with some morning rain on Saturday, and then later in the afternoon it should be nice. Now, I mentioned today that although it's pretty cold, it was still a nice day. My mom actually sent me this picture of a bird. So people were outside walking and stuff. So it's definitely still pretty nice, but not what we would expect in April. Looking around the region, it's all kind of the same. High of 48 in the areas around Syracuse, Cortland 43, Penn, Ithaca 47. A lot of places though have wind advisories. So Syracuse, Cortland, Ithaca, Penn, they all have wind advisories. So if you're traveling anywhere around the region, definitely be careful. Guys?
Riley, thank you. Well, even though it's warm right now, it's also Jazz Appreciation Month, and to celebrate, one local band is bringing traditional tunes back into style.
Our Sophie Braun shows us how the Bare Bones Trombone Quartet is proving that jazz is not just history, but a living, breathing part of our culture.
Usually, libraries are known for quiet, but here in Liverpool, a different kind of story is being told.
The Liverpool Public Library is a familiar stage for the Bare Bones Trombone Quartet. The group's performances are filled with many jazz tunes, a little bit of music history,
the early history of jazz was really for the common people,
and lots of laughter.
Live music is the best. Without that, you just, listen to radio and everything. CDs are okay, but live music, can't beat it.
The quartet is celebrating their 30-year anniversary of making music together, and the group's name reflects their unique style.
Now, at the time, there were a few trombone groups like Lazy Bones, Hip Bones, and it said, let's think, bone, how about bare bones?
Whether you are tapping to the rhythm, waving your hands, or just listening, the message behind the music is clear. Musicians of all ages continually make up the audience, sharing in the value of keeping traditional jazz music alive.
And we're here to continue to preserve it, continue to play it, continue to do this.
The Bare Bones Trombone Quartet is preserving a legacy, one performance at a time. Reporting in Liverpool for Citrus TV News, I'm Sophia Braun.
If you weren't glued to your TV this weekend, you were probably watching the Minecraft movie, and you missed a ton in the sports world. That's why I'm here to catch you up to speed, not on Chicken Jockey, when we return. Sports on News is right after this.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And now, your Citrus TV Sports Report.
Heading into the weekend, number 7 Syracuse men's lacrosse had a monkey on its back. The last time it beat number 5 Notre Dame, this guy, Noah Eagle, who just broadcast the Olympics, was sitting where Max and Marie are now. Well, I'm Jish Sokolsky, setting the time machine to Saturday. It had been a long 7 years since the Orange beat the Irish, but on a 5-game win streak, could this finally be SU's chance? Well, we're about to find out right now. John Mullen wins the opening faceoff for the Cuse, but in the first 5 minutes of that first quarter, that's about all the winning Syracuse did. Notre Dame went up 3-0 thanks to this low-to-low shot from Westfield, New Jersey native Devin McClain, but then it was all Orange. 9 straight goals, including this whipper from Joey Spallina to the top right corner. 8-3 SU at the half, 9-3 out of the half, but you're never out of a game if you're Notre Dame, and you got Chris Kavanaugh, the Tewaaraton nominee, whips one low to high to make it 9-4, but Joey Spallina and the Orange would not quit. Pump fake, pirouette, put it in. Joey Spallina was on fire with 4 goals today. And Owen Hiltz, can you believe it? Syracuse on the precipice of winning, which is exactly what the Orange did at 14-9. You know, Gary Gait and co. finally get another comeback win, but if you ask Gary Gait, it's probably he probably wants a full 60 minutes.
You know, it's hard. We talk about really playing 60-plus minutes with consistency. So that's what we're really working on. So, yeah, we had a bad 5 minutes, but I thought the 55 other minutes, we played pretty well.
Pretty well is an understatement. Syracuse dominated in the scoring sheet and at the faceoff X. Johnny Mullen won 16 faceoffs for SU. The sophomore won less than a quarter of those the last time he played ND. Gaining possession hasn't been a problem for the men's team this year, but it has been for 11th ranked Syracuse women's lacrosse. Syracuse was outdrawn 19-7 by Yale in a loss on Wednesday. But that wouldn't be the case this time against California. They won in style, an 18-6 drubbing after they played in 5 one-score games this year. It's nice to get a blowout. There were 3 hat tricks, but none more impressive than from freshman Caroline Trinkus, who led the way with 4 goals. It's the first year's 5th hat trick of the season, but goals aren't everything, as attacker Emma Ward will tell you. The grad student is 4 away from tying the all-time assist record at SU after tallying 5 against the Golden Bears. Her opportunity to etch her name into the history books comes Saturday at Virginia Tech. And like a Noah Khan song, stick season rolls on. But believe it or not, hoop season isn't over yet. While the men still have the national championship tonight, more on that later, the women's March Madness tournament finally came to an end yesterday. And when the dust settled for the 12th time ever, UConn is the national champion. The Huskies knocked off 1-seed South Carolina, the champs of last year. Star guard Paige Beckers goes off into the sunset with her first ring, but a freshman stole the show. Sarah Strong becomes the first year to ever score 20 points in the title game to lead the Huskies to an 82-59 W. And the men's tournament wraps up tonight, and it's a classic case of unstoppable force meets immovable object. 1-seed Florida escaped their region thanks to their high-powered third-ranked scoring offense, but they meet the toughest defense in the NCAA to score on in number 1 Houston. The Cougars just shut down Cooper Flagg and Duke to punch their ticket to the final dance. Tip-off is at 8:50. Guys?
Jish, thank you so much. I mean, we're excited for March Madness.
Yes.
We'll see what ends up happening.
Yeah.
Well, after the break, we'll have one last look at your weather. Stick with us.
Did you hear about the pony with a sore throat? He was a little horse. Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding. Why couldn't the Why was the basketball court all wet? Why? Because the players kept dribbling all over it. Where did cats go on vacation? New York.
Jason, let's go see your room.
What do you think? We kept it a little spare, so you can decorate it how you like.
Dinner!
Go. Excellent. Soccer is fun. Yeah, I saw you guys out there.
Welcome back. Now, I mentioned there's going to be some snow tomorrow, but tomorrow's weather is going to be pretty consistent, just cold and snowy though, unfortunately. Throughout the day, we're expecting about an inch of snow with 20-mile-per-hour winds. So although the wind advisory won't necessarily be in effect tomorrow, it's still going to be pretty windy and pretty chilly. Taking a closer look at the day, it's going to be pretty consistent, about 27 all day long until the afternoon when it heats up a tiny bit to 28 degrees, but snowy all day and windy, guys.
I feel like it's never warm on Tuesdays.
No,
like never. It's always like
I know, it
a
makes me
Thursday
sad.
or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, hey, a new movie broke records in the box office over the weekend. The Minecraft movie, yeah, that's right, is an unexpected hit, becoming the highest grossing video game adaptation movie of all time. Ticket sales have hit 157 million.
The movie features stars like Jack Black as Steve, Jason Momoa as Garrett Garrison, and Jennifer Coolidge. So everybody, what do we think about this new movie?
Well, I was one of the millions of people who went to go see it. I saw it yesterday.
Ooh, we need to see it.
There were applauses in the theaters. Everyone was loving this movie, and I'm one of them. I love the movie. I thought it was hilarious.
Okay,
Super
then
cute.
we have to go.
Yes.
Riley?
I have not seen it, but I love Jennifer Coolidge. So.
Yep. So I guess we're gonna have to go, Max.
Yeah. Is it similar to a Lego movie?
It's not, but did you know that Jack Black did hundreds of hours of Minecraft gameplay to get ready for this role?
Jish,
Isn't that
I'm so
crazy?
sorry to cut you off, but
we
that
gotta
is
cut you
Citrus
off.
TV News
Yes.
Live at 6. We'll have to watch the movie at some point, though. We'll
Have a
talk
great
about it
night.
later. Have a good night.